thank you for joining us on ERi-TV for English News Broadcast live from Asmara. Today is Thursday, 27th of June 2024. Here are stories making headlines today. President Isaias Ali meets with senior Italian parliament delegation. Seminar conducted for nationals in Washington. Nigeria to ban single-use plastic next year. More than 500 die in 6 days as Pakistan swelters. President Isaias Ali today met and held talks at Addahallo with an Italian parliamentary delegation led by the President of the Senate Foreign Affairs and Defense Commission, Senator Stefania Craxi. During the meeting, President Isaias noted that the Italy-Africa Summit and various related meetings were both inspirational and challenging. He reaffirmed Eritrea's political goodwill and readiness to foster a phased, strategic and long-term partnership with Italy. President Isaias emphasized that this will require the joint formulation of strategic roadmap that encompasses all priorities. Senator Craxi reiterated Italy's commitment to nurturing and consolidating an effective partnership and cooperation between the two countries. The Italian delegation also included Senator Roberto Menia and Senator Enrico Borghi, both members of the Commission. The meeting was attended by Mr. Osman Saleh, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Mr. Marco Mancini, Ambassador of Italy to Eritrea. Mr. Birhane Gabrihiwat, Chargé d'Affaires at the Eritrean Embassy in the U.S., conducted a seminar for nationals in Washington and its environs on 23rd June, focusing on the objective situation in the homeland and regional developments. Mr. Birhane highlighted that the existing unipolar global system is transitioning to a multipolar one. He stated that Eritrea has successfully overcome external hostilities over the past decades, and it's now shining in global diplomatic forums. He also mentioned that Eritrea is earnestly working alongside partners to realize a judicious and inclusive global system. Mr. Birhane commended the contribution of the diaspora nationals to the successful resilience of the people and government of Eritrea and its defense force in realizing national security and safeguarding national sovereignty. He further called on the nationals at this promising stage of history to strengthen their organizational capacity and contribute to national development programs. Regarding the strengthening of the Eritrean community and public diplomacy activities, Mr. Birhane called for integrated efforts to develop activities that inculcate noble societal values in the young generation. He also emphasized taking advantage of opportunities in their country of residence for the benefit of their community and country of origin. During the seminar, a briefing was provided on the 50th anniversary of Eritrea's festival set to be conducted next July in the United States, and related news, a six-month activity assessment meeting in which representatives of Eritrean organizations from 50 Italian cities participated, concluded with the adoption of various recommendations and resolutions. The meeting, presided over by Mr. Girma Habta Mikael, head of Public and Community Affairs at the Eritrean Embassy, included extensive discussion on the report presented in the programs for the next 6 months. Participants also expressed their conviction to strengthen resilience and contribute to the successful implementation of national development programs. Ambassador Fushatsian Petros provided an extensive briefing on the objective situation in the homeland and called for strengthening organizational capacity and participation in national affairs. About 220,000 nafa has been contributed in the subzone of Maimene and Addahallo in support of the families of martyrs. Government employees in the Maimene semi-urban center contributed about 110,000 nafa, while government employees in Adhola subzone contributed 109,000 nafa in support of families of martyrs in their areas. Additionally, various administrative areas in Maimene subzone plowed arable lands and renovated the houses of families of martyrs. A sum of 146,900 nafa extended by government employees and affluent individuals in Aordat subzone was distributed to families of martyrs. Mr. Isa Tarum, the administrator of the subzone, emphasized that supporting families of martyrs is the responsibility of every citizen and commended the initiative taken by government employees and affluent individuals. In related news, at a commemorative event held to mark Martyrs' Day, nationals in Tripoli, Libya contributed 3,227 dinars towards augmenting the Martyrs' Trust Fund. Those were local news updates. Stay tuned for international news. Nigeria on Tuesday announced a ban on single-use plastic in government offices as a prelude to a nationwide ban set to begin in January next year, a move that could steer a storm in a country hugely dependent on plastics. A recent study by the U.S. Agency for International Development found that Nigeria is among the world's top plastic polluters, generating over 2.5 million tons of plastic waste annually, and over 70% of which ends up in seas and landfills. Looking at the national policy on plastic waste management, which was adopted in 2020, is envisaged that by 2025 some categories of plastic will be banned in Nigeria, Deputy Minister of Environment Isaac Salako said. What the federal government is doing is preparing the minds of Nigerians for what is to come, and leading by example, he added. Most of the materials to be banned are single-use plastic, including straws, cutlery, plastic bottles, and small water sachets, which present a major issue for the country. According to the minister, Nigeria announced a national policy to curb plastic waste pollution in 2020, when total annual plastic waste was around 1.5 million metric tons, according to reports. As the temperature rose in southern Pakistan, so did the body count. The Edhill ambulance service says it usually takes around 30 to 40 people to the Karachi city morgue daily. But over the last 6 days, it has collected some 568 bodies, 141 of them on Tuesday alone. It's too early to say exactly what the cause of death was in every case. However, the rising number of deaths came as temperatures in Karachi soared above 40 degrees Celsius with high humidity, making it feel like as hot as 49 degrees Celsius, reports said. Civil Hospital Karachi admitted 267 people with heart stroke between Sunday and Wednesday, which 12 of them died, said Dr. Imran Sarwar Sheikh, head of the emergency department. Most of the people who came into hospitals were in their 60s and 70s, although there were some around 45 and even a couple in their 20s, Dr. Sheikh told the reporters. Many of those seen had been working outside. They were told to make sure they drink plenty of water and wear light clothes in this high temperature. The high temperatures, described as partial heat wave by one meteorologist, began at the weekend. Heat wave centers and camps were set up to try to provide relief to the public. Before we go, we have a quick recap of the top stars. President Isaias Ali meets with senior Italian Parliament delegation. Seminar conducted for nationals in Washington, D.C. Nigeria to ban single-use plastic next year. More than 500 die in 6 days as Pakistan swelters. And that wraps up our news broadcast for now. Thank you for watching.